And we are live. Hi, guys and girls. Gallifrey497 here. I'm joined by Adam Alderhoovian today. Say hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. So, as you can tell by the title, we're going to be reviewing the latest two episodes of Doctor Who, which are Smile and Thin Ice. Smile, written by Frank Cottrell Boyce, and episode 3, written by Sarah Dollard. Two writers which I feel have sort of both extremes endwise on the sort of Capaldi writing scale. Like, obviously you had Frank Cottrell Boyce, who written In the Forest of the Night. Then you had Sarah Dollard, who wrote Face the Raven. One I think's really, really bad, and one I think's amazing. So it was interesting going into these stories. We're going to be reviewing and discussing these episodes. So yeah, but if you've got any comments or any thoughts you'd like to share on the episodes themselves, feel free to comment down below. I will keep checking back on what you people have written, and hopefully we'll create a few different conversation points. But how have you been, Adam? We've recently, actually, before we went on air, actually, me and Adam were talking about watching Guardians of the Galaxy 2. So what did you think of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Adam?
Very interesting. Very interesting. We're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I thought it was fun. It's a pretty decent movie. It's not as bad as the reviews say, nor is it, sort of on the standard of previous Marvel films. I think now that they're doing 3 films a year, I think you're going to get a dud. Because of the sort of the mass producing, sort of how quick they are with releasing films. I think it's going to start to it's going to be mad. But I got to admit, with the film, I sort of cared about the characters that were sort of in the background for the first one, like Yondu. I really liked. There were some really good scenes of Yondu, and I liked Nebula, Karen Gillan, who you may know as that companion in Doctor Who at one time.
That one time.
And so yeah, and the rest of the cast are pretty good, and some interesting additions, and we'll see where we go. It's kind of one of those. It's one of those films, really, that you got your post credits, you got your. There's going to be more, and a decent adventure along with that.
Well, it's weird actually, because obviously when they return in Infinity War, I think it's meant to be like 4 years after Guardians 2, which is really interesting. I think, like, see how much they've sort of they sort of how sort of they've come along.
I wonder if Volume 3 will be like in between Guardians 2 and Infinity War. That'd be quite cool. Play around with time a bit.
Yeah, that would really trip people, I think, but in a good way. We've got a few comments. Ben says hello. We've got people telling us where they're watching it, which is quite interesting. Fans is watching outside. Hopefully the weather's better here than where I am. It's absolutely pouring it down outside. I was going to say a word then, but it's absolutely pouring it down outside here. So hopefully it's better weather for you there. Oliver's watching it on the train. He's just come back from the Doctor Who experience. Hope you've had a great time there.
Yes, hope so, mate.
Yeah, no, I'll say that I'm going to the TARDIS tour the 19th. What day are you going, Adam? You're going
the 13th of May. Yeah, it's not this Saturday. It's the Saturday after. So it's the Saturday when Oxygen will go out.
Oxygen, yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah. Well, I say I would have loved to have gone attend my film premiere.
Yeah, I completely. I was literally oblivious of sort of what day. I thought I need to pick the cheapest one. I was like, right, just because it's probably. Theory is it's going to be the last time they use the set for the Christmas special. I think it's going to be the last time they use that set.
Yeah. I think it'll be the last time this time around to actually see the TARDIS, because I think by the time they film the Christmas special, they're probably like sort of deconstructed. Because I reckon everything's going to be new when Chimil takes over. So. But yeah, no, I'm really excited to see it. I'm going to cosplay as Capaldi, going to experience.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of friends. I did a video probably a couple of years ago now, where me, Billy, another person called Travis, all 3 of us dressed up as 10, 11, 12. And we're going to do it again. I believe but he's going to be Tennant. I think you have the same variant, I reckon. I think
Not the blue suit.
not the blue suit. No, no. I don't know if he's got that one. But as I say, my friend Travis is going as Matt. I think he might be doing the Series 7B cosplay variant. But so I really wanted the Series 9 one. So, and it was a good excuse for me to buy the coat. So,
Yeah, that's literally the Matt Smith guy and you are sort of advancing it, and Billy sort of just staying in the brown suit. Like,
Billy's Tennant, just Tennant's Tennant.
yeah, because he just alternates. You know, it doesn't really matter. He sort of, you know, he jumps from one to the other. There isn't sort of he keeps that costume and it sort of stays like that. He sort of, you know, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that should be fun. But I'll probably do a video on that. I've started growing my hair. I was meant to have a haircut this weekend, but I thought no, I'm gonna grow it. So hopefully I can do sort of probably like flick back thing. But yeah, no, so that'd be fun. And so expect a video on that. Soon enough. Oliver said, I went to the TARDIS tour and I walked inside. I was like, oh my, it's small on the outside. Yeah, no, like if you've ever done it, I think you've done it before, Adam.
Yeah.
But I'll say, if you can make it this time around, please do, because I think it will be the last time you do the TARDIS tour. But you can basically go in there, and the amazing thing about this set compared to other sets before the Matt Smith era is it's a complete 360 set, because usually in the classic series and the sort of 9th and 10th Doctor series, you sort of get half of it, so the cameras can be in it, so it's but when you go into it, it's fully immersive. It's absolutely amazing. So if you can do it, go check it out. Cadam3 says he's in the middle of getting together a cosplay of the 12th Doctor's outfit from The Magician's Apprentice. Yeah, that's quite an easy one to do, I think. You'll need sort of like the black hoodie, and get a black jumper and then cut some holes out. I tried to do that. Unfortunately, I cut the holes too big and the shirt is sort of ripping apart now. So just be careful of that. I've got a few people talking about who's in the vault, but I think we're going to talk about that when we get to the end of this live stream. But yes, so we're going to talk about episode 2, which is Smile. This is the second episode of series 10, written by Frank Byyyyeee. I think with this episode, I know Adam, you weren't looking forward to it whatsoever. I don't think.
No,
anything.
You would be right in saying that I wasn't. Oh, slight echo.
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 I think it's fine here, mate. Yeah.
Anyway, yes. No, I wasn't looking forward to it because of what he had written in the past. Sort of the ideas and concept. I didn't think it was going to be. You could say it sort of did. It did actually do. It had some like dark undertones. Which you'd think for someone who wrote that, whatever that was. You know, I thought, my God, he's done this, hasn't he? But no, it wasn't really.
It's come a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like I was hopeful for this episode, and I watched it. I was quite tired at the time, but I just felt really unengaged with the story. I don't know what it was. It was just, and I felt like I'd seen it before. Like I felt like I'd got 2 different ideas that had sort of just been stitched together. Like you got the Beast Below, bits of Utopia. Do you know what I mean? It just felt like, oh goodness, like. But yeah, no. But I say the good thing about, obviously, I think the Doctor and Bill's dynamic really lifted the episode for me. That was like the best thing about it. That's saying a lot. And it's just like, even with Thin Ice as well, like the Doctor and Bill's relationship and sort of dynamic on screen has really elevated the stories past their sort of their capability, really. As Adam said, this is written by Frank Byyyyeee, who obviously wrote In the Forest of Night. And yeah, it was better than In the Forest of Night, but it still wasn't great. Do you know what I mean? It was funny seeing Rani's mum. Well, the thing is, obviously, Doctor uses many different actors in that before.
Yeah.
But I just sort of think of the theory of, you know, like Gwen. When
Oh yeah.
made her fit like her obviously in Still on Earth, the family transcendence thing, whatever. See, I like to think it's sort of a descendant of that. Yeah, any other thoughts on the story? I felt it was quite a very slow-paced story, which wasn't necessarily bad. Obviously, it was more focused on the sort of the character stuff. There's a lot of them just sort of wandering around.
Yeah, I feel like this episode needed to sort of really. I think this might sort of also come into my thin ice. But both of them needed to establish the threat a bit earlier. I think because they're JC just wandering around, you don't feel like they're in danger. You don't feel there is, you know, there's not much at stake. And I felt like with Thin Ice a little bit as well. And it's just, and then it's got comes to the third act, like, oh shoot, oh okay, right, yes, yeah, stuff and that.
Yeah, I thought the human characters came in a bit too late. Like, then you only had this boy down walking around. But I say the ending was very rushed. Well, I say with both episodes, if they felt a bit rushed, because obviously they're trying to cram in the added TARDIS scenes, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? At the end of the episode. So they're a bit tighter than usual. But yeah, what did you think of the emoji robots, practically and story-wise?
It's weird to think that in your head it's just like, this is exactly how I think they would be portrayed. There wasn't sort of anything about them that you sort of found out. You're like, oh wow, that's, you know, they were. You saw it in the trailers, and you sort of, there wasn't sort of anything, you know, added to that. So what you saw in the trailers, you know, if you think, oh, emoji bots, they do nothing really different. I did like the nanobots. I thought actually the stuff of them was quite cool. How they sort of made up the sort of, when they, you know, they come a part of the build, you know, part of the building. They sort of come out of the building and sort of. Yeah, sort of that. I think that's really cool. But yeah, they were just generic. I thought, really. I think they were generic. I don't think they're going to be remembered anytime soon.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, no, I say they were cute, and they were a bit gimmicky, I guess. And I said they didn't really seem too much of. I don't know. Like, they seemed obviously pretty cool. I like the sort of.
It reminded me of the handbots from the girl who waited.
I think I say the visual stuff as well, like the cities,
the paradise world, yeah.
Yeah. I really like the Doctor's line actually about them when they were sort of saying, Hal obviously says, "Oh, why aren't they running?" And the Doctor's like, "Well, if it's more scary if they don't need to run, they always get you." Like that, obviously that's a running thing with Doctor Who monsters. You know what I mean? So it's nice they sort of tied that in. With that, I say I can't remember the actors or the character's name, but obviously the child actor I thought was pretty good. In Doctor Who recently, we've had a lot of bad Doctor Who child actors, cough cough, Angie, and the kids from Series 7 Part B. I think I can't remember their names.
Oh God!
And it was Cyril. Yeah, I thought he did a very decent job. I think it was his first acting role. But yeah, no. Apart from that, really, there's not really much else I really can say about the story. I really liked the tie-in to Thin Ice. Obviously, with the very reminiscent of sort of the first Doctor and second Doctor story endings, where you sort of get like it leaks into the other story, which is really, really nice. Which sort of, I think probably some Doctor Who fans show it obviously shows how much how it is pretty much linked. Like if you have a Doctor Who story which goes from a different adventure to a different adventure without seeing that transition, then you can sort of say there's obviously time in between that. But yeah, I was quite engaged with the story. There were some fairly cool ideas, but I just felt it sort of copied a lot of stuff from different stories and sort of stitched them together. Do you have any overall thoughts on the story?
It did kind of nothing for, but yeah, it really was that. I don't think there was any real meat to it. I guess it's good for establishing the Doctor and Bill's relationship. And
for sure.
And I got to admit, I think both of those episodes, I'm sort of glad that they've sort of underplayed Nardol's involvement in the series, just to give the Doctor and Bill's, to establish some, a relationship, and I really like the sort of. I think the best thing about this is how well established the sort of tutor student relationship. She's grateful that she's been on this adventure. She isn't smug and I'm gonna be like the Doctor. No nonsense. That's got away. She's just grateful and willing to learn. And has willing to learn and willing to explore. Time and space.
That was really nice. Obviously, that was the thing I most took away. Obviously, was her sort of development of. Obviously, she was great in episode 1, but it was nice to see her sort of off-world and having her first adventure. And like you said, it was great to see a companion after having Clara for a while. I was actually grateful for seeing all this stuff. I like the way she sort of contemplated, obviously, sort of like going back. And obviously, then she saw in the sort of the box about the sort of helping and assisting sign. But yeah, no, it was just like a breath of fresh air, and I think that's the thing. It obviously was putting her in obviously the sort of the main frame of sort of pushing her sort of this is her first adventure. But I just didn't like the story. Like you said, like Adam said, there's no meat to it. It was quite weak, I thought. Obviously the gimmicky emoji robots. The thing I'll take away from it was the great sort of acting of Pearl Mackie and sort of character of Bill. So, I think that's all me and Adam want to say really on the story. I think it will probably be one of the weakest stories of Series 10. Well, it depends, we don't know yet, but but yeah, it is what it was. But at least it was better than Forest of Night. Can't get any lower than that. So we do have a couple mini reviews of Smile here. Have a look. Callum Reed says, when I first heard of the concept for this episode and the fact that Frank Cottrell Boise was writing it, I was expecting it to be terrible. However, in the lead up to the episode, I became quite hopeful. Oh, that's pretty cool. The Gallifreyan Hoovian says, Smile gets an 8 out of 10 from me. They loved it despite the tad rushed ending. Yeah, that was very spontaneous.
They said, I've reset all these emoji bots, so please just get along and smile. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Okay, goodbye.
That's what they said. They said it in unison, didn't they? Smile. It was like,
yeah,
that's the title of the episode. Oh, you clever.
Oh, you said it. Oh,
yeah, that Peter Griffin. Yeah.
Yeah, Callum Reeds again says the emoji robots themselves were good. Definitely not the worst part of the episode, surprisingly. But again, he said the ending let it down. Arnold Aarons says, I'm in the vault. You spoiled it for everybody.
It looked beautiful, I think, the episode, because it was shot in Valencia, Spain. And it was like exhibition place, the Arts of Science, I think, facility in Valencia, Spain, and it looked cool as this futuristic world. So yes.
No, it was quite funny because obviously, if people don't know, they filmed that abroad. That is relocation. However, the fields was in Cardiff.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
I sort of tried to combine the two. Finally, do you have Nardle boy? It says, smile. Be nice. What's the Doctor been doing? Has he been naughty? Nicky Boy Crow says this is his first ever Doctor Who live stream. Hello.
Hi.
First ever live stream. Hope you're enjoying this live stream. So yeah, smile. Did it make us smile? It kind of made me awkwardly smile, but not truthfully smile. Really. So yes, on to last night's episode, which was Thin Ice, written by Sarah Dullard, who personally I think is again an amazing job. I was more skeptical about Sarah Dullard coming back than Frank Cottrell Boise. I think there's more riding on it. Like I absolutely loved Face Raven. I thought was really, really good. And so I was sort of hoping with writers like Joe Matheson, for example, who have sort of come back and not done as well. Well, that was obviously because Steve Moffat co-writing, but I was really hoping that sort of consistency stays. And I think she did another amazing job with this episode. What I say? What are your thoughts? Sort of starting off thoughts of this last night's episode, Adam.
I watched it twice. I watched it the Saturday night, and I watched it the Sunday night. And I have not rewatched it. I haven't watched any of it, so I'm going off. I literally wrote some notes because I was on it. I was just doing another live review last night, helping someone out. I liked it on first watch, and then I watched it again. And whilst it had some good moments in it, I still kind of felt like it was. I think it's my second favorite, like, you know, of the three. But
Right.
I didn't think it was as good as I thought it was, unfortunately.
Oh.
And it has, you know, there's some cool dialogue. I like the dialogue. I think Lord Sutcliffe, the villain, was very underdeveloped. He's sort of coming in.
I have that in my notes.
Yeah, then in your notes. But there was a nice. What was that? That nice scene from the Doctor is like. I forgot the quote, but it's like literally been like posted everywhere. It's about what value you put on human life, or, you know, that thing he says. Yeah. But there was some ridiculous. I didn't like the history is whitewashing line. I didn't like. I know. Essentially, this episode did explore themes of racism in the story, and of course at that time period there were issues regarding that, and particularly when the Doctor gave a massive wallop to the Lord Sutcliffe, and literally and it's so great that the Doctor stood up for that. Like, he stood up again for his friend, and you know, the Doctor is a lover of all humans, in all ethnicities, in all everything, and in all religions, in all beliefs, in all creatures. Everything. He's very accepting, and of course, Clara is different, but you know, absolutely, it's just great with those moments. As I said, I think there's a few like the fish, the massive underwater serpent. A bit of CGI. It was entertaining, but I don't think it really rose above it, really. In me, there's something off about it.
Yeah. So do you feel then that if you watched it once, this time round? Or?
I think this series is under 45-minute syndrome. It needs definitely 60, and it needs to really sort of even itself out. And that's sort of where I feel like it's sort of come from. I don't know what Chibnall's doing, but I would love another cut of episodes, because we have one cut. We've had 13 episodes from 1 to 7, and then from 8 to 10 we've had 12. So cut 2 episodes, maybe get 8 or maybe 10, and add extra minutes onto those episodes, so we can get, you know, really good stories and definitely fresh IP. Because I know this series is going, all right, let's get the Capaldi fan favorite writers. We've got Peter Harness, Jamie Matheson, Sarah Dollard, Debbie Whithouse, you know, all those names. And we only really have 2 writers who haven't written for that Doctor, or at least that era. One who hasn't even written for Doctor Who since 1989, so that's going to be very interesting. And one who's completely new to Doctor Who, completely. That's what I think Doctor Who needs: extra long running time. So I think the sort of things that are kind of, you know, are good things can be fleshed out a bit more, I feel.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that these 2 episodes especially have had very rushed endings, and I think that's because obviously they've been trying to, obviously with Smile they were trying to transition into Thin Ice. So with this one they were trying to have the sort of them coming back to Earth and the vault scene. But yeah, no, I say it would be nice if we did have 60-minute episodes, and like I said, I agree with Adam. I think if they were going to do that, I would happily accept 10 episodes, for example. You know. But yeah, no, I say I really enjoyed the story. I think the costumes were great, and the setting. A lot of it was on sound stages, which I was really surprised by. That's the magic of TV, I guess. I'd say the Polly punching Lord Sutcliffe, that's his name. It was just one of the photos of Polly moments, and it just blew out really, really nicely because he was sort of saying to Bill, he's like, you know, you've got to be really calm in these situations. And then obviously when he talked to her and really gave those horrible remarks, it just gave a good old whop. So it was just really nice.
And also the Doctor's kind of, what does he say? I've never had the luxury of outrage. And that's what he always tells. I guess that's the thing. You always kind of tell yourself that, try to keep going. But sometimes it really can, you know, tear you up inside and you let loose really with your emotions. Essentially what he did in the Zygon inversion.
Yeah. I guess everybody has their sort of breaking point. And that, I say that was another great moment. Obviously when Bill saw the child sort of die, and he just moved on. And that was just really nice to sort of have that moment with Bill where it's not all sort of, oh, we can go and explore time and space. Like, yeah, there is consequences. I'm glad they've done that sort of early on. And it is nice to sort of, and then she sort of said,
I'm just really glad. I think the way they treated it in this episode was so much better than the way Capaldi was treated in Series 8, because he sort of came across as all right, I'm just gonna say this angry Scottish dick, and then in this series, it's black and white. It's like, yes, he does care. Like he's the Doctor, of course he does. I mean, you know, in Series 8, I think it's just like there's sort of not really much to say. Oh, he's the Doctor. Yes, I mean the Doctor is, you know, can be grumpy and he can be he can be in a temper, and he has those sort of, you know, gentlemanly like qualities. But it's not. But he's mellowed out for, like, you know, throughout the series. That's sort of that's sort of the whole point of the Hartnell's arc. You know, he sort of, you know, and then he sort of has, you know, he's bringing in these companions, and he sort of really sort of mellows out and sort of learns from them sort of the value of human life, and that's sort of what keeps the Doctor going. And sort of with Series 8, I felt they were going really backward, and like the Doctor not liking soldiers. I was like, that's. Considering he worked with the Brigadier for a lot of the classic series, and there's a lot of sort of hypocritical nonsense that I felt like that series had, I really was just like, Series 10 really understood the Doctor. It really put the Series 8 and Series 9 version into perspective. And like, right, let's even this out. Let's make, and they're doing really well with that. I feel like the characterization of the Doctor in this series is probably the most accurate it's been in Capaldi's era, and that's such a shame to say that in his third season. Really, I just felt like it's completely, wasn't treated to, you know, the full respect of the program. And considering how bad he punched the general, he really came across it as not the same character. But here it is established, yes, he is. So, yeah, there we
go. That's Adam's Capaldi rant there. I'd say with Susan, I quite liked the darker version of the Doctor, and like I say, I think he has definitely brought a lot of elements from the Hartnell sort of era, where it's sort of like he's obviously starts out very grumpy, and then, like I said, the interaction with humans and different companions along the travels has obviously helped him, and he's obviously grew, and by the end of it, he was a bit grumpy, but you know, he learned from it. And like I said, Capaldi with the first two series went from one extreme to the other. There was no development really. Like I love the darker tones of the series. Maybe it was a bit too much in places, but you had that sort of darker version. Then they went to series 9. It was just like hyper, like OTT. But yeah, no, I think especially this episode, the certain things the speeches he does, and the actions he makes, and some of the things he talks about. Yeah,
just the nice like sort of nuances of the character. I sort of like that bit. He goes to the fish pieman. Is he actually called the pieman in the actual? He's just like, I could, like, you know, steal anything, and he gets chucked out. It's like, steal anything in theory, and Pete the Butterfly, and always kind of nice sort of. Don't you know what, this series is actually funny? Like, there's some actual good humor. I feel like in Doctor Who now. I don't feel it's the cringy midlife stuff we've sort of had before, and you know, I don't feel like it's not, you know, say dad humor. I think that's the best way to put it, dad humor, and things like that. That might be, we might probably still get a little bit of that, but you know, there's and the no sheep, and it cuts to the horse neighing. I thought that it's just like, my God, it's just like they actually, yeah, it's pretty funny.
I completely forgot about that. I was just like, she was like, no, and I was just like, whoa, what you doing, Doctor Who? Like, you, like, some of the swears in Doctor Who have obviously been moderate. I think it's the first series that obviously said bitch quite a lot. And obviously bloody is a word that's come about. But I was like, oh,
And us.
Yes, yeah. Well, they made a whole spin-off about that. But no, yeah. So I think, yeah, no, that's a really good point. Actually, I think it has really a genuine funny humour, and Nardal's been genuine funny as well. Like, I love the.
And you know what? This particularly the last scene, I feel like, you know, he's not just he can be a bit dramatic. He sort of yes, he was sort of scared. He was just like very confrontational to the vault, and he sort of, it does feel like this is sort of, I guess it's Nardal's most dramatic performance, you could probably say.
Yeah, no,
there is a slight bit of fear in you know.
Yeah, no, that. So we'll talk about end scene in just a minute, but yeah, no, I say he when he sort of tried to be talking down to the vault, and he was just sort of saying, look, he's found a friend now for a bit, but I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to be protecting this vault, and they just walked off like, oh God. But yeah, no, I say another a great aspect I really like was the sort of child gang. Again, with a lot of Doctor Who child actors.
Yeah, they were very good. I felt they kind of that Kitty and the gang. It kind of reminds me. This is no way better. It's sort of undeveloped version of Nancy from The Empty Child and the Doctor Dancers. I mean, she doesn't have that that arc of being the mummy and, you know, all that. But I kind of just got that. There's this sort of older female character. She's sort of older female, like kid kind of character, sort of teenage kind of character, looking after these sort of little kids, and, you know, keeping them safe and looking over them, really. So I kind of got vibes of that. Yeah,
no, that I that's why it's great to have Adam on these hangouts, because sort of like, oh, this random fact and this connection. Yeah, no,
I've got another one.
Go ahead. What was it?
This story has been mentioned a couple of times in the new series. River Song mentions the Doctor taking her to the Frost Fairs in 1814, and Stevie Wonder played Under the Bridge. So I heard. I was watching, like, I think there was like a couple of videos and things before this episode aired or around this time, and also in The Caretaker, Danny's invisible in the TARDIS, but one of, like, I'm bored, and he says to Clara, "Oh, I'm going to take you to the Frost Fairs in 1814." So it's like, do you know in The Big Bang where they sort of mention the mummy on the Orient Express, and then it sort of comes back up again? It's sort of like one of those scenarios.
Well, the Sarah Dollar was on the fan show last when Saturday's episode came out, and she did say she's been planning to do this story for a while. I think she said a friend wrote a book about it, and she said she really wanted to do it. And I think she proposed the idea when she obviously did her Face of Raven. But they were like, no, we'll pinch that to kill Clara. You can have your episode with the Frost Fair later on. The child gang was really nice. Some really great sort of new talent in there.
I really like the scene where the Doctor's just reading to them. It's nice.
It's
very much of his teaching nature. It's like,
right, all right, kiddies, bedtime story. All right.
Yeah, no.
And very much of his lecture. And that's what I like. He sort of has his own sort of, in a way, he's the Doctor, but he's also this lecturer. He's a teacher. The healer as well. I kind of healer in a way, you know, with information, and just like sort of really having them a guide, so they're not sort of off track, and they're not sort of. That's the thing. He sort of keeps Bill in check as well. He's just like, you know, this is your choice, and just kind of sort of, you know, snap out of not necessarily being whiny, but sort of like get yourself together kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I thought the underwater creature was fairly good CGI. I know you didn't like it.
Yeah, we didn't really see a lot of it. I mean, I think the stuff underwater looked like the eye opening and things like that. And I guess the spacesuits, like them in the spacesuits going underground, and with the Doctor and Sonic, I mean, that looked alright.
Yeah, that was great designed. I thought the end sequence was very good with the ice cracking. I thought that was very well done. But yeah, no, overall, I really enjoyed this episode. I think it is possibly my favourite one so far. I think very close to the pilot. I don't know. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm. It's very hard. I just like I'm thinking it's 6, maybe 6.5, maybe. I think it's good. I think it's good. It's really between. I don't know. It's definitely between a 6 and a 7, but I don't think it's sort of raised the bar too highly because of the sort of. There's always the 45-minute syndrome. It's always a trouble, I think, for me, and it's sort of hard to sort of really sort of appreciate what's there when you're only given sort of so less and sort of it really. Which is such a shame for this series. And of course, you have to give that time also to the vault stuff and sort of that running time. So you got to factor that. And when you sort of take that, you're sort of left with sort of that not that much screen time, which is such it's great to have arc, but I think they should be definitely longer. Please, Chibnall, do that.
Well, I thought, obviously the first episode was 50 minutes. I think even if it's 50 minutes an episode, I think that wouldn't be too bad. Just an extra bit of time to mellow out the ending, because that's a problem I has been having for the past couple of episodes. And I think we had that issue with a lot of series 7 and 8, but obviously with series 9, we haven't had that issue due to it being mostly 2-parters.
Yeah.
So, but it's an issue that's sort of coming in. But yeah, hopefully will have longer episodes, so it's not just rushed endings and that.
Definitely, yeah.
But yeah, no, we'll talk about the vault scene now. Okay. A bit more development on that. Matt loses Nardal, goes up to it, says it's still defended. This plane is defended. I am Nardal. And obviously, obviously there is somebody in there. We don't know specifically what, but it does knock. And a lot of people have obviously been theorizing it could be the Master due to when Nardal walks away, it does do the 4 knocks. So people are like, oh,
yeah, and there was a 3, yeah.
But
some people say it's both of them.
Yeah, it just felt like you're let us out. But yeah, out of curiosity, what do you think's in the vault?
Do you know what I think is in the vault, Reese?
I would have
give you a clue of what could be in the vault. Actually, I really don't. It's one of those theories. It's sort of the series arc. It's just like it's a decent arc. It does get. I guess it gets people thinking, but it doesn't get me thinking because it's just that kind of. Sometimes a series arc can really sort of be a burden. That has definitely been the case for series 9, and And that basically, what did that lead to? Hardly, not disappointing. It will sort of lead to something related to the finale, and sort of in that finale, I don't think it's sort of a surprise. It's like we know these things are coming because he's been promoted, and they sort of these things have been announced. Unless it's something, I don't think it will be anything new that we know of, basically. Unless it's to do with the whole monk thing. But I'm not really too. I'm just like it's there, but I'm not making charts about it. I'm not. It's not. It's an arc, but it's not like it's not heavily touched upon. I guess as well is what I'm trying to say. In the series, although sort of 5 minutes out of thin ice, I was kind of like oh dear. With that, although like actually the scene in the actual the doctor's lecture room, that was good. I think it's just. That, and then when Nardal sort of went down there, and there's a bit of, it's kind of just like a teaser. It's like there's something just like this is like, all right, okay, yeah, I'm all right, I'm all right, fine, but I'm that's it. It's just like that's all I take from it, really.
Yeah, I think I say again, I don't know what's in, I think there's a very small selection of people who could be in there or things. It's sort of completely new. But no, yeah, I think. It's an interesting arc. I like the Doctor not giving a damn about like sort of going away and doing stuff. Like obviously, I know
that's kind of me as well. I'd be like that.
Yeah, it's responsibilities.
Yeah.
Just that's really great. But yeah, I think I'm not overly invested. I think when it comes, I'll be like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
or like, really? Do you know what I mean? I'm not. I said like you. I'm not playing charts and theorizing who could be. I think there's a selection of people could be. I like your Mondasian Simon theory. Like, imagine a whole army in that. Pretty cool. But maybe the first one, Mondasian. I think. I don't know. It depends. We don't know what the oath's taken. Like, obviously it's either to do with them or Missy and the Master.
Yeah,
Obviously the
episode 6 as well as the finale, isn't she? Is episode 6, which is Extremis.
Yeah, so I thought it was Missy, but somebody said in episode 11 is the reveal of who's in the vault. Obviously Missy's in episode 6, so I think she is in prison, but off world. I think she's been captured.
Oh my god! It'd be like
What?
the opening. The Dalek. This is like the you know the opening of the TV movie. The Daleks have imprisoned me. It's and then it's basically just like instead of those chipmunk Daleks, it was just like the Nicholas Briggs Daleks and the Missy just like and basically just like, oh, imagine that just opens TV movie style.
Yeah. Oh my dear goodness. Yeah. I mean, funny as how just point out.
The Master has been exiled by the Daleks.
That would be opening of episode 11.
Yes.
But yeah, so overall, yeah, I really enjoyed Finnice. Preferred it much better to Finnice. And I really do hope Sarah Dollard. I hope Chris Chibnall does keep her on. I really do. I know he's obviously trying to do a complete fresh start and a new sort of writer's thing.
Yeah, I think Mark Gatiss sort of said that I don't think he's going to be asked back, and definitely not Moffat, and so we can rule that out. Yeah, I'll get maybe some return writers, but maybe not ones that have written just last year. Maybe get ones that have written, because I think Simon Nye, I think it was, who wrote Amy's Choice. Maybe I'd like him. Yeah. Everyone's begging. Maybe Chibnall, maybe with his direction, they may beg. We may get Rob Shearman back. We may get Paul Cornell back. We may Ben Aronovich is a name I kind of want to, because he's sort of been doing books and things, and of course he wrote Remembrance of the Daleks, and he did Battlefield.
Yeah.
Yeah. Battlefield is kind of a guilty pleasure for me, so slightly guilty, probably because it's got the Brigadier and Gene Marsh as and Gene Marsh is in it too. Givings, yeah, but I think it's of its time, really. I just kind of like it of its time. And Ben Aronovich, so I'd say for me, he's sort of that a consistent writer. So you know, and that was the name I thought would be the Ronan Monroe. I thought maybe it would be Ben Aronovich, but it went for Ronan Monroe. But still a good choice, you know, still a good choice. Yeah, I always like that Andrew Cartmel sort of period. So any of those writers, you know, would be quite cool.
Anybody from the 7th Doctor, basically.
Yeah,
I hope Battlefield. The only issue I think with Battlefield is the only issue I think is it's I just don't really like. I think it just loses itself a bit near the end. I think like it's as it goes on, it's sort of like, But yeah, I know what I mean. So yeah, no, it would be nice.
I'm not saying it's brilliant. I'm not saying it's great. I think it's like I think I can enjoy it. I think I can actually be like, you know, I won't dread it. I think it is one I can, and because, you know, I think if the Brigadier wasn't in it, I don't think it would be as remembered. As hard. Yeah. And what's it, Brigadier Bambera? She's quite funny too. She's quite an amusing character.
Yeah, no, yeah, she was. But yeah, like Robert Shearman and Paul Cornell I saw the other day. Them two, I think they've done some great. Well, I think pretty much the best Doctor Who stories in the new series, pretty much. So, you know, it will be great to see new writers. But it's Chibnall. So let's get all your thoughts on Finnice and who is in the vault. So Gareth Hoover says the Finnice, he gives it a 9.2 out of 10, very specific.
Oh, or 92 out of 100.
Or 92 out of 100, yeah. He says beautifully done, and had some of the best character development I've seen in years.
Yeah, I think this is very much a character piece. I think it's both of them are. I think it's really more focused on character than plot, which it's great to do character stuff, please. But incorporate into the script, like sort of Heaven Sent did it. You know, it's a character story, and it's a plot as well. It does both, you know, really well, I think. So Sort of episodes
Yeah,
like that would be like perfect for me.
Yeah, I think, like you said, this one's obviously mixed the plot and the character development sort of split in half. And with Smile, I think the character stuff prevailed, was obviously the story not being that good. But I think the finale episode, I think, did a nice mix up of the two. Callum Reed says he never usually is into historical episodes. Before Thin Ice is one of his favourite ever historical ones. Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, I'll say that it's hard to obviously do the historical ones. Obviously, with the first Doctor, it's pretty much a historical for every episode, when it's I don't think that would work in nowadays. So it is tricky for them to do historical ones to keep them interesting. You know what I mean? But I think this one did a really great job. Nicky Boy Crow says, I liked Thin Ice because it was a good story. And what is the monster fish in it? Because they don't say its name.
Yeah, I feel like this is another thing. I just feel like I guess the threat is not as memorable, I'd say, as well. I think, you know, there's nothing inherently scary or creepy or, you know, anything that devious, I think, going on apart from, you know, the guy they sort of introduced into the third act. And I felt that's sort of maybe why I sort of have a slight misgiving. I think they sort of need to sort of have that bit, you know, that real set of danger, that thing of danger, I felt. It felt Beast Below, like, I think, you know.
Yeah. Well, visually, I thought, with obviously the secret you've been underwater. But there you go. Callum Reed says again, it was a fun episode. Don't usually like historical episodes. It's probably my favourite historical ones. Features were brilliant. Plot was a bit rushed and not very fleshed out. I say with Lord Sutcliffe, I think he came into it way too late. It would have been nice.
Yeah.
I know it would be a mystery thing. It would have been nice to have had him a bit more in it, I guess, because then it's
Definitely.
like 5-10 minutes and he just died. We've got a few theories of who could be in the vault.
All right.
So it could be Rassilon and a gang of criminal Time Lords ready to take their revenge and retake Gallifrey.
Which version of Rassilon?
Presumably the Dolphin. A lot of people send the first Doctor, which is obviously rumoured by the newspapers, which I'm not too sure. I will comment on that. I wouldn't like to see that, to be honest, because I think I know obviously they did that in the Five Doctors. Obviously have a different sort of actor involved. But what do you think? I wouldn't really like it, to be honest. I don't know.
No, because I don't think there is that. I'm not quite. Why would you bring that version? Why would you if you're doing a multi-Doctor story? Why that Doctor? And why? I think the Eighth Doctor would make sense because he was sort of full of you know, he was sort of pre the Time War, and I still like the pre and post Time War kind of. Maybe if you do it and began with Hartnell, I don't really see. And David Bradley was brilliant and he did really well. But he can't. But he's playing the first. But they've asked him basically if he was come back to Doctor Who, if he played the first Doctor. But in Adventure Space and Time, it was more his performance as William Hartnell.
Yes.
There's a very distinct thing. And if you want David Bradley in Doctor Who, he's in Dinosaurs on the Spaceship. So but although Doctor Who's had a habit of reusing actors, no. I think what Mark Gatiss did and what, you know, that whole Adventure Space and Time thing, it suited that. It did that really well. Leave it alone. It just like leave it as its own separate thing. It doesn't really need to be brought into the actual canon of the show. It was sort of it's the behind the scenes piece as well. Yes, they were recreating scenes, of course, as it were, you know, that were authentic at the time. Just leave it out. Just leave out the canon. Also, another rumor was it was meant to be in the 10th Planet episode 3. This is sort of what they wanted to sort of fill the gap with, which I think is a bit disrespectful. That is very much disrespectful. You know, Hartnell was ill, although I think maybe there might have been a big finish where there was sort of that gap was filled by going to see old Stephen Taylor. I think I was told, but I'd say leave that gap alone because Hartnell was ill and, you know, very frail at that time. So I'm not quite sure why he'd, you know, go and do that. although the thing is, another thing, got to consider, they're going to probably in the Christmas special tie up Capaldi's Day of the Doctor cameo as well, when he scowling at the camera. So it probably is something to do. It's probably going to be Gallifrey related. Definitely later on. There's sort of no doubt about that. Hopefully it's done well this time. But yeah, I think that it's going to be Gallifrey related, but don't bring back the first Doctor. But what Gallifrey, if you do something with it, great, cool.
Yeah. I think
I'd get McGann back. Come on, you've got Paul McGann and you got a new costume and everything. Come on, bring back McGann.
Yeah, there you go. I couldn't say it better myself. Somebody else says, why would they keep the first Doctor from the vault anyway? Which is quite true. I don't think it's protected from like in time, but I don't know why it'd be. Yeah, we don't know. We'll wait and see. Somebody absolutely loves Battlefield, Adam. Patrick Sherwood.
You gave it a 10. My goodness. Oh, right. Okay, yeah. Interesting.
Absolutely loves it.
No, I wouldn't give it that rating, but yeah. I think it does get a bit. There's always a story you watch of Doctor Who. It's Battlefield. I think a couple of Sills and Massacre Man Dragons really underrated. Some Doctor Who stories that you really think are underrated and think they don't deserve the scrutiny. What about you, Reese? Actually, I know we're slightly off topic. What do you think of sort of stories that you really like but like get a bit of slack?
Oh, good question. I quite a TV movie. Shoot Me. Classic wise.
Classic or new series? It'd be quite cool to see sort of get a selection of.
I don't really like Mind Robber. That's quite important, I think. I don't really like.
I really like the Mind Robber. The Rings of Akaten.
I like the second half. I don't know about the first half. I don't think classic series wise, it's that's a great thing. Like everybody has controversial opinions. Do you know what I mean? Well, I say I love most Doctor Who, but I'm trying to think of a story which was really popular.
Overrated.
Overrated.
Ooh, overrated.
I've got to start looking at my DVDs here. I'm just trying to look along. City of Death. I need to rewatch that. I think I liked it, but I never rewatched it for some reason. So I guess that's a bit not overrated. Maybe. No, I feel like Sacrilege saying Genesis of the Daleks. I was going to say. Oh, this is hard. I'm just going through all of them. I'm very sorry for being distracted. Maybe the Dalek Master Plan. Controversial. I've watched. I don't know if it's because I was watching it through Telesnaps, but I watched the first 8 episodes of it, and it I don't know. I think it goes on too long. I think that's the problem. But yeah, I quite like a lot of the Casu stuff. There's a few comments. I will be wrapping this up very soon. So thank you everyone for watching. But we're going to read a few. Yeah, no, a lot of people saying that obviously the creature wasn't nice. What it was, which is obviously not. Well, it's just a lazy way of sort of not as giving the monster a name. A lot of people disagreeing, like Dave Bradley coming back, which again I think me and Adam don't agree on. So he wants a female doctor. Fair enough. But yeah, that's pretty much everybody's thoughts, I think, on the series episodes we've watched and talked about so far. So yeah, thank you everybody for watching, guys and girls. Please comment, like, and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter, like the Gallifrey Journalism Facebook page. Google Plus, Instagram, links all stuff in the description below. Thank you to Adam North Mahovian for joining me for this review, giving some amazing fun facts about these two stories. I'd say overall thoughts, Smile I didn't really like, very unengaging story, but the character development of Bill was great. And obviously with Thin Ice, it's a story which I think will be appreciated. I think it's a really nice historical episode, which I think is very hard to get right. Yeah, have you any closing thoughts, Adam, about the two stories and the hangout? Or
okay, Smile, I'd probably 5.5. I'd probably give it safe. I'm gonna be generous. I think 6.5 seems about right. Yeah.
very
So
nice.
that's the
Hey. Adam's been lost into the temporal schism.
Whoa! There you go. Yes, I have.
Hello, you right?
I am okay.
Okay. Yeah, you were just like, whoa. It's like you just went.
Yeah, I just like I think there was sort of a skip,
in a temporal
a
schism.
like catching up to do, like this jump. Yeah.
There is a few more comments. I'll sort of try and read as many as I can. Callum's Doctor Who Guilty Pleasure episodes are Love of Monsters, Fear Her, Kill the Moon, and The Witch's Familiar and The Magician's Apprentice. Yeah, I like The Magicians and Witch's Familiar 2 episodes. Yeah, Love of Monsters gets a lot of slack. Fear Her, I agree with some of the criticisms for it. Kill the Moon, it's pretty decent. He also says, love the live streams. I'm looking forward to the next one. Thank you very much. David Who says Missy's in the vault. Yeah, it's even Miss with the Master, I reckon. But yeah, so yeah, but I'll say thank you everyone for watching. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. Got any closing thoughts, Adam? We try again.
Thank you.
The internet's better.
Did you not catch? Did you not catch the? Oh, okay. Smile.
Yeah, it
5.5.
went.
Thin Ice. 6.75. Okay, 7. Yeah. I really don't know. I just I kind of like. I think there was a bit of underdevelopment, but yes, it can be enjoyable. Yes, I can go back to it, and yes, it is a harmless watch.
What was your rating for the pilot?
I need to go back to it. I always find it's that sort of nearly 7 as well. I think that's kind of ish.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I think I've only watched the parts, and I've only smiled once. I sort of
Yeah.
twice review. You're watching.
Your
Do you
connection.
know-
Sorry, your connection's really, really bad.
Is it?
hang
Oh.
on. Okay, now, but it just goes and comes out and goes and comes out. I don't know what's going on. Somebody say rest in peace, Adam's internet.
Oh dear.
Yeah. I can hear you now.
Oh, you can hear me now. Should I?
Yeah.
Did you get what I said?
Yeah, I got the ratings. Yeah, I just thought, what was your rating on the pilot?
Oh no, I was talking about
Talk about what?
Sarah Dollard.
Oh, Sarah Dollard. No, I didn't hear about that. No.
She has a tattoo fetish.
Is she?
There's the tattoo in Face the Raven, and then there was one on
Yeah.
the guy's up.
That's true.
The guy's hand.
Another great fact. I'm sure people are going to take from this hangout. Like, I've never learned so much. Yeah, if I had to rate the
It
episode,
doesn't although Sarah, It doesn't convince me to get a tattoo. Just because you think tattoos look cool, and you can put them. And yes, I look up to Doctor Who and that, but I will not get a. People make a choice, but I'm staying well away from them. Sorry, carry
on. Callum says he loves the way Capone says tattoo. Yeah, a lot of people saying like Adam's dying, he's lagging out. Yeah, if I had to rank all the series episodes we've had so far, I'd probably give the pilot a 7.5. I'd probably give Smile a 5. I'm gonna say a 5. And Thin Ice, I'd probably say an 8. I reckon, maybe. At the minute, my thoughts might change.
That's the thing, you know. I think it's sort of these episodes need a test of time, and they haven't done that because they're going out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So are we going to talk about? Are we going to talk about like, the trailers for next week? Is that a topic, or did you want to?
Yeah, that'd be really nice to end on that. Yeah. So
okay.
At the end we have next week we've got Knock Knock, which we do have a preview of, and it looks great. I really love the actor Poirot, David. I can't remember his last name.
Suchet.
Thank you very much, Adam. Yeah, David Suchet looks great in it. It's like, it's time for you to pay.
God, he is very creepy. Yeah.
Imagine a red man. I
don't know if he's going to be. It was pretty. Ian McKellen got wasted in. Sorry, I don't want him to get wasted. And I really don't. And I'm worried this might end up like Hyde. I don't think that is the case. Mike Bartlett, very new, and I'm intrigued to see what he does. New writer.
Yeah.
Binaural sound. Did you hear about that? That's so cool to sort of hear about that. And if you didn't know about binaural sound, there's a video the audio binaural sound is thermal, sort of like how it's implemented in Doctor Who to make it scary and things like that. This is great. This is new and I'm liking it. There's no
You sound like a Audacity Simon, sorry Adam. But what Adam's trying to say is about this episode is going to be featuring surround sound and this special surround sound thing, which is going to be available for this one episode to make the episode really immersive because apparently it's really scary. But yeah, like Adam said, hopefully it doesn't go down the Hyde route and sort of say it's going to be a scary thing, but it's not.
And listen, I think stuff like that as well. The way to sort of listen built it. I don't think it was that, you know, scary or as creepy as that episode also made out to be. So I feel cheated by Doctor Who horrors, like in the new series. But I hope this is. I've got hope in a new. I was just hoping this guy because Did you hear about the success of Dr. Foster? I heard that's really good and really like it was meant sort of like a thriller.
Yeah, I saw a few episodes
in a sense as well, which is.
Yeah, I saw a few episodes. It was really, really good. So, I said if you could binge watch before next week. So, I'm really confident with next week. I think it should be good. Depends if Moffat's tampered with it. We don't know. A few more comments about it. About the episodes that's coming up. Cam says it's really good. David Who says next week is the house that eats people. Lol. And again, Callum says, I don't think Doctor Who's had a good haunted house horror episode since Blink. Fair enough. I don't think they've had a haunted house episode. And David Who says the Sonic does not work on wood. Thanks for reminding us the Doctor is screwed. We'll have to wait and see if he can overcome. Well, let's say there's obviously been many things which it's just very random things like wood. You're screwed. So a whole house with a wood terror threat with that sort of wooden lady in the trailer, and obviously creepy creatures going forward. Hopefully it should be really good. I'm really fingers crossed for that, and also Oxygen that's really good as well. I'm really hoping zombies in space. Like,
Yeah,
wow.
very cool. Yeah, yeah. The Blue Man Group.
Blue Man Group. Whee! So yeah, I think that's a wrap on everything. Again, thank you for Adam for joining me tonight. And so I hope everybody's enjoyed series 10 so far. I'll say I probably will do another live stream in the next couple of weeks, recovering the both episodes. Not too sure when I'll be able to do the next one. I sort of just do it when I can. But yeah, no, we've got. I've really enjoying this series so far. I think it is nice with a bit of a freshness with the show. And yeah, like these next 2 episodes are going to be really scary, and hopefully that sort of pushes the bar with Doctor Who again. So, as always, guys and girls, thank you very much for watching. This is me and Adam signing out, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.